any bond conditions with you. Everything that I'm going over with you this afternoon, I will also give it to you in writing. Now, also in the courtroom, Mr. Smith, is Mr. Kendall with the Solicitor's Office, Lieutenant Gardner with the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, and Ms. Cardwell also with the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Smith, you have 5 charges, sir. And each one of these are general session court charges. You have a charge of murder. You have a charge of armed robbery. You have a charge of attempted murder. You have a charge of burglary first degree. And lastly, you have a charge of possession of a weapon during a violent crime. Now, for these charges, sir, you have a right to a trial. And you have a right to a trial by a jury. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you're unable to afford your own attorney, you can apply for a court-appointed attorney. And you do this to the Public Defender's Office, which is located here in Gaffney. The address is 118 Willis Plaza. And there's an application fee of $40 to apply for a court-appointed attorney or public defender. Also, I want to note that the Public Defender's Office is in the jail usually about once a week to see defendants as well. Now, also for these charges, sir, you have a right to a preliminary hearing. And if you want to ask for a preliminary hearing on these charges, this form, and I'll be getting this form to you, needs to be filled out and submitted within 10 days. It can be turned into one of the officers of the detention center, or it can be turned into the magistrate's office located right down the hallway. But again, if you want to pursue a preliminary hearing on these charges, this form right here will need to be filled out and submitted within 10 days. Also, Mr. Smith, I'll be giving you a copy of 2 court dates. Make sure you hold on to these court dates. This will be your only notice of these court dates. Your first appearance is August the 22nd at 9 a.m. Your second appearance is October 24th at 2 p.m. Both of these court dates will be at the Cherokee County Courthouse, 125 East Baker Boulevard here in Gaffney on the 3rd floor. And Mr. Smith, if you fail to appear or you missed either one of these court dates, a bench warrant will be issued for your arrest. Now, these charges, sir, have been brought against you. If they're dropped, discharged, dismissed, or if you found not guilty, the charges will be expunged from the record. Now, lastly, the document titled Information Regarding Your Rights, and I'll be giving you a copy of this as well. It's very important that you read this, but I will get a copy of that to you. And again, it's titled Information Regarding Your Rights. Now, before going over any bond conditions, I wanted to first see if Mr. Kendall with Solicitor's Office would like to address the court.
Would, Your Honor. The defendant is charged with multiple offenses, most notably a murder. This occurred on August 9, 2018 at 118 Phillips Road here in Blacksburg in Cherokee County. At that time, the victim in the case, Mr. Marshall Cooper and Kayla Johnson, were inside of the residence. 3 men came armed and forced their way into the residence. There they went and secured property, I believe a firearm if I'm not mistaken, from inside of the property. As they were leaving, they shot and fired, killing Mr. Cooper and injuring Ms. Jacobson, excuse me. Based on the severity of the charges, we would ask, and I think it's appropriate in this case, based on what they are, that he remain in custody. I believe these are bonds that have to be set by a General Sessions Court for the murder as well as the burglary in the first degree. So we'd ask that on all charges he simply remain in custody, Your Honor, the bond not be set at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Kendall. Mr. Kendall, Ms. Cardwell, would any of the family members of Mr. Cooper, Ms. Jacobson, would like to address the court?
Yes, Ms. Danielle Cooper would like to speak.
I wrote it down because when you get in here and you get to talk, your mind gets thrown. So
You're Ms. Cooper?
Ms. Cooper, yes.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I stand before you today because of the actions of the cowardly trio. They made a choice in the early morning hours of August 9th that left our son dead, Ms. Jacobson wounded, and our family forever devastated. I am Marshall's stepmother. I came into his life when he was 2 years old. His mama, his daddy, and myself came together, worked together over all these years with his best interest at heart. He was our firstborn, our baby boy. We sacrificed, we struggled, we prayed, we worked, and we fought to do our best to love and guide and protect him. We watched him become a father at 17, and then we watched him graduate high school the next year, even though he had a baby. We watched him leave for boot camp on his way to becoming a U.S. Marine, and we watched the transformation as our little boy left, and a grown man, a United States Marine, returned. All those years, all that time, all that effort and love, and everything he overcame and pushed through, just for three cowards to come along and decide his time was up. It's not fair. Our son was asleep in his own home, Your Honor, asleep. He wasn't bothering anybody. They kick in his door. He cooperates fully from what we've been told. They have all the stuff they're going to get. You're on your way out the door. Just go. Just go on. But for some reason, heartless, cold reason, somebody fires a shot that in that very moment ends 4 lives and leaves a family destroyed. His son will be 10 years old in 4 days. That's a little milestone, double digits. He now has to face a lifetime without a daddy. I've watched this affect his brothers and sisters to the point for a minute there, I was worried that I was going to have to bury another child. This was so senseless and cold and just absolutely heartless. I mean, you were on the way out. Just go. No value for human life whatsoever, Your Honor, none. I don't think any of them should ever have the opportunity to walk free again, because our son never will. And with all that being said, I ask that you deny bond on all charges.
Thank you, Mrs. Cooper. Do any other family members like to address the court?
I don't think so.
Okay. Mr. Smith, I see you had no representation this afternoon, and I must, before I ask you if you'd like to address the court, warn you that anything that you say this afternoon can and will be used against you in court. Now, saying that, and I do want to give you opportunity to address the court, but at the same time, you don't have to, and of course you heard my warning to you about addressing the court. But saying all that, Mr. Smith, anything you'd like to say to the court this afternoon?
Yes, Your Honor. I only found myself guilty for 2 charges. I was manipulated in a way to go to Marshall Cooper house and do what we did. I'm the one that kicked in the door. And I didn't have any weapon on me except for a knife. Some type of deerskin knife. I didn't know that was going to his house to shoot him. I did not know that at any point in time. When we got there, we raided the house and everything, took the stuff, and I know where my friend started shooting. That's when I ran out the house. He was still shooting, and I was trying to get in the car. I only found myself guilty for breaking and entering, burglary,